Welcome back to another episode of Ride Like a Local. For the next 3 episodes, we're going to be looking at the future of motorcycling, and I'm going to be interviewing young riders from little ones to millennials. In the heart of the Canadian Badlands is Drumheller, runner-up community in Canada's most rider-friendly community contest 2017. We invite you to come experience the hospitality, drink in the views of one of Canada's most unique and haunting landscapes, Drumheller, Alberta. A lot of charity work. When you think of yourselves as riders 5 years from now, what is one milestone, one bucket list thing that you really want to have under your belt in 5 years' time?
Oh gosh, I don't know. It's I want to do more traveling for sure, but for me and being here at the motorcycle show and spreading our message, I just want to see empowerment of women coming together as a culture, as a collective together. That to me is rewarding in itself.
And to roll with that, I really want to see people feeling welcome a lot of the time, and I felt this way when I started riding. I would show up at different group events and I just never felt like I belonged anywhere. I didn't feel included or like anyone noticed my presence or absence at events. So I want people to really feel the sisterhood of when they ride with us, they're part of the family, and I want them to be excited about seeing us and us to be excited about seeing them. The friendship that happens organically is just so worth the motorcycle community that we're in.
Absolutely. If other ladies want to find out about the Litas, and whether it be the Calgary chapter, Edmonton, or anywhere worldwide, where can they find out more information?
Go to www.thelitas.co, and if you want to find out about Calgary, it's just /Calgary. If not, you can just go to the Litas main page and it has a list of every branch that's in the world.
Perfect. Well, thank you, ladies, for taking some time with me. I think that the future of motorcycling is in pretty good hands, at least with these two. So what's your name?
Isabella.
And Isabella, how old are you?
7.
Why do you love the Litas?
Because my mom's part of the Litas.
And is it your dream to become a Lita as well?
Yes.
Why?
Well, because my mom makes it seem like it's a really good place for me to go.
So because you think it's a really good place because of the way your mom talks about motorcycles and the other ladies that ride?
Well, she knows all the girls very well, and, well, she thinks it's a good place for me.
Well, you know what? I think you'll be a really good fit for them.
Thank you.
It was very, very nice to meet you, Isabella. And you know what, folks? This is the future of motorcycling. Right here. This is the true future. Thank you, darling.
You're welcome.
At the Edmonton Motorcycle Show, and as you know, I've been on the hunt to find out what it is that younger riders are doing, why they're riding. And Rob here, who happens to work at Heritage Harley-Davidson on the south side of Edmonton, graciously agreed to be an interviewee for this. He's 25 years old, and what kind of bike do you ride?
I've got a 2018 Harley-Davidson Lowrider.
How long have you been riding now?
I've had a bike since I was about 15 years old, so a decade.
And where did you get the inspiration to start riding?
When I was about 8 years old, my dad got a motorcycle after having had them all his life, and we took trips together and toured around BC, and then when the time came and I was old enough, he asked me if I wanted a bike, and I said absolutely. So we dug an old Suzuki Intruder out of my uncle's garage, and that was my first bike ever.
And working for Harley-Davidson, what has that done to influence your riding style and what it is you enjoy about riding?
I think for me, it's given me a lot more perspective on the types of riding that are out there, that it's not, a lot of the riding that I'd always done was like, let's go to BC, or let's travel down the California coast, or something like that. But just seeing how much riding there is here in town, the different styles of bikes, being able to see just how different a bagger rides than something that's like a bobbed out chopper or something like that. So it's cool to see all the different types of bikes and just how each one of them rides so differently.
What do you think it is, as a young man in riding, that makes your generation so different from, say, my generation? I'm almost 60, you're 25, it's a big age gap. What do you think that makes us different, and then what do you think that makes us the same?
I think one of the bigger things is, and I don't want to speak for a whole generation, but I know for me personally, it's that a lot of riders that I know are still they've still got something more to prove, and they've still got to show like that they can go fast and they can do this and they can do that. And there's a lot of that attitude that biking is still badass, and it's still something that's like very cool and has a strong culture around it. And then on the other side of the coin, I think that, and again, maybe it's tough to speak for a generation, but I think that there are a lot of people from older generations who don't have anything to prove anymore. They've ridden these motorcycles for hundreds of thousands of miles, and they've been around the block and they've done it, and now they don't need to hammer as fast as they can around a corner because they've done that a million times. They just want to enjoy the trip. So I think that there's a difference there. I think one of the big things that's the same, though, is I think every motorcycle rider has, on some level, that sense of adventure, and that looking to find different ways to explore the world and to see new things and to meet new people. And I think everyone from every age group of rider loves the community and the people and the way that everyone comes together around something that everyone loves and shares so much.
Well, there you go, folks. There's the insight I was looking for, and that pretty much nails it. You're right. I mean, generationally, I remember my father being a brash young man when I was a little girl, and how he liked to race fast cars and race bikes and all of that. And then I remember being a young teenager, and the boy across the street who had a really nice Chevelle. Yeah, my dad didn't like the way he drove that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that there's a lot of that. I think that as people grow and change, there's less of that same thirst for going fast and adrenaline and finding those same like levels of excitement. But I think that that's still ingrained in every motorcycle rider, that everyone wants to go out there and everyone loves the feeling of the open road.
You're very right. You're very right. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes to help enlighten the world on what it is that our younger generation thinks of. Deeply appreciate it.
Anytime. Thanks so much for the interview.
On the Alberta-Saskatchewan border is a welcoming city that was recently crowned as Canada's most rider-friendly community of 2017, Lloydminster. From rider-friendly businesses to great events, Lloydminster, Canada's most rider-friendly community. Come experience it. The Spark Business Incubator is located in 214 Place and run by Community Futures Grand Prairie and Region. It can provide a new or expanding business with the supports to be successful. www.gpsparkincubator.ca. That's all our time for this week, folks. Join me next week as I interview more interesting young people to discover the future of motorcycling.